Thank you for tuning in to the Victory is Greater Than the Struggle, an ex-lesbian podcast with myself, your host, Jessica Newsom. I want to talk about getting ready for 2022. How many of you guys were like, man, it was a crap storm. Can't say the other word, right? But 2021 kind of wasn't our best year. Or maybe it was fine. I don't know. But we want better, right? We want to get our minds and our heart right for not only the next year, but I think a lot of us just have taken a step back maybe from where we need to be with God. And we need to get back to that place of closeness. And I don't know if God is talking to you about fasting, but he's been talking to me a bit about it. And I only fast when I just feel it impressed upon me by the Lord. And I think that that is a good way to really get ourselves mentally prepared, right? It is a way to fix our eyes on the Lord, to take our eyes off of the things that do not matter, and to get right with the Lord. Fasting isn't about just receiving stuff. I think sometimes people think that, well, if I fast, God will change this about me right now, right? If I fast, God will deliver me from homosexuality. If I fast, God will stop me from having these same-sex attractions. And it's not about that. That's not what fasting is about, okay? Fasting is about fixing our eyes upon the Lord, and which helps us to get proper perspective about the stuff that we go through. I think a lot of times we just want stuff from God, right? And we need to not treat God like a vending machine, because that's what we do a lot of the times. God is not our vending machine, right? It's about a relationship with him, not about all the things that we can get. And I think a lot of us need to fix our hearts, posture our hearts to that place to where we begin to understand what a relationship with God looks like instead of what we have kind of turned it into. And so I want to read to you Isaiah 58, 3-7. It says this: "Why have we fasted and you see it not? Why have we humbled ourselves and you take no knowledge of it? Behold, in the day of your fast, you seek your own pleasure and oppress all your workers. Behold, you fast only to quarrel and to fight and to hit with a wicked fist. Fasting like yours this day will not make your voice to be heard on high. Is it such the fast that I choose, a day for a person to humble himself? Is it to bow down his head like a reed and to spread sackcloth and ashes under him? Will you call this a fast and a day acceptable to the Lord? Is not this the fast that I choose? To loose the bonds of wickedness, to undo the straps of the yoke, to let the oppressed go free, and to break every yoke? Is it not to share your bread with the hungry and bring the homeless poor into your house? When you see the naked, to cover him, and not to hide yourself from your own flesh?" Joel 2:12 says this: "Yet even now, declares the Lord, return to me with all your heart, with fasting, with weeping, and with mourning." So fasting is more about getting to that right posture with God. We are to worship him. We are to submit to God. We are to wait upon the Lord, right? We are to seek ye first the kingdom and its righteousness, and all other things will be added unto us. All other things will be added to us, right? So the things are secondary. seeking God first is the primary thing that we are supposed to be doing with our lives. And as we seek him, we are transformed by him. The Holy Spirit begins to transform us, begins to transform our minds and our hearts. And so I have no clue how long I'm going to fast, right? I think that if you're feeling that the Holy Spirit's like, okay, let's fast. Let's separate ourselves from all this worldly stuff, right? And let's take something away, take things away, right? Fasting is pretty much fasting from food. Okay. I know a lot of people may do it differently. People will fast from, people do stuff like fast from Instagram, right? Or fast from TV, or fast, sun up to sundown, right? Drinking only water or things like that, you know? And all those things are cool. Seek God in that. Don't follow what someone else does. Seek God in that, you know? And so actually what I was thinking was the sun up to sundown. That's funny. My producer just put a little note. And yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. For me, I think doing it from sun up to sundown is the best thing for me to do, you know? And I think that I'm going to say something, okay? You may not agree. I think that maybe as a baby Christian, we do things like fast from social media, okay? And I think that maybe there's a time and place for that, okay? But a lot of it really pertains to food, okay? You need to seek God if you have health issues. Don't be fasting from food if you're diabetic or something. My God, please you use wisdom. Okay. So seek God in that. And we really need to get right with God. I'm just going to say that we need to get right with God. There's too many of us that act like we're fine, talk like we're fine, go to church on Sunday, praising God and all that stuff. But then after that, Monday to Saturday, God is barely existent in our lives, right? But you seek all these things, right? You seek for change in your life. You seek God's help. And it's not that he won't help you, right? But it's how much are we able to receive from God when we are receiving so much from the world and our plate is full, right? When our time is full, when our schedule is full, when our heart is full of things of the world, how can God fit his stuff, right? How can God give us his teaching and his wisdom and his knowledge, all of those things, if we're full of ourselves and full of the world? It doesn't work like that. So I think a lot of us need to grow up. We need to grow up. I'm talking to myself right now, okay? We need to grow up and we need to really say, you know what? If we say that God is number one in our lives, we need to start acting like it. And if this is a struggle for you, which I know it is, I haven't heard one person that it's not a struggle, because the enemy is so good at distracting us, especially, in the 21st century when we have TVs and social media. My God, that was the best thing ever to try to distract us. We're so easily distracted. And so we need to make a decision about what we need to change for next year. And maybe those things are small. They should be small baby steps, things that you can do that aren't so grandiose that you'll give up in 2 weeks, right? We always do the gym, right? We do the gym and we're like 3 days a week, blah, blah, blah. And then we give up. So start with something small, something that is attainable, something that you can do. But I'm going to start with fasting, and then I'm going to seek God, and I'm just going to say, God, what do you what do you want from me? What do you need from me? And a lot of times he just talks to me about things I need to change within myself. And he gives me revelations about things going on in my life so that I could change my perspective on things and begin to handle them differently. My God, it's so much better with him. Life is so much better with him. And so if you're going to fast, definitely I encourage you to do it, to seek God. And leave a message at the bottom of this and let me know if you're going to fast. Let me know what God is telling you to fast from. How are you going to fast? Is it going to be a week? Is it going to be a day? And if you've never fasted, like maybe just try a day, okay? Because it is difficult. I think I tried to jump into the Daniel fast, right? That is the Charismatic Church Daniel fast, 21-day fast, right? And I'm all like excited about it. Couldn't do one day because the first day I felt like I was the most hungry I've ever been in my entire life. My God, I was hungry, okay? And I just couldn't do it. But God didn't call me to that. It looked awesome. And that definitely will be something that I would love to attain to do. But then you have to ask yourself, what is the Daniel fast? Instead of jumping into something, you don't even know what it is. You want your stuff to be fruitful. If you're doing something to copy and emulate other people, you aren't going to get anything out of it, right? It's about seeking God. So why don't you ask God what he wants you to do and know what you're doing, know why you're doing it. Okay. And I'll definitely let you guys know about my fasting and how that's going. It will be interesting, especially because I'll be out of work for a little while because of my arm. So it's me and by myself. So there's no distraction. And I'm kind of scared about that because Instagram is my distraction and Netflix. And so I'm kind of worried about that, but I think that it will be good. All right, guys, I love you. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Victory is Greater Than the Struggle, an ex-lesbian podcast with myself. I am your host, Jessica Newsom. See you next time, guys.